The boxing world is buzzing with anticipation for the rematch between Gervonta "Tank" Davis and Lamont Roach, scheduled for August 16, 2025. Their first encounter ended in a controversial majority draw, leaving fans, analysts, and fighters divided on who truly deserved the win. The debate has only intensified as both camps prepare for the second fight, with new developments in training, mindset, and public perception shaping the narrative. This rematch isn't just about settling a score. It's about proving who has evolved more since their last meeting and whether Davis can reclaim his dominance or if Roach will solidify his case as a legitimate threat. The first fight, which took place in March, was a tactical chess match that defied expectations. Many viewed Davis, a multi-division world champion known for his devastating knockout power, as the clear favorite. Roach, however, proved to be a formidable opponent, matching Davis's speed, landing clean shots, and exposing vulnerabilities that few had seen in the Baltimore native. The fight ended with one judge scoring it for Davis, while the other two called it even, sparking heated discussions about scoring, preparation, and whether Davis underestimated his opponent. A pivotal moment came in the ninth round when Roach landed a crisp jab that sent Davis to the canvas. Referee Steve Willis ruled it a slip, but Roach's team and many observers believe it was a legitimate knockdown that could have tipped the scales in their favor. That moment has become a focal point for both camps, with Roach's team using it as motivation and Davis's side downplaying its significance, citing external factors like discomfort from his braids or even grease in his eye. Roach's preparation for the rematch has been marked by quiet discipline and subtle refinements. Training out of Gleason's gym in Brooklyn, where he remained after the first fight, Roach has focused on sharpening his already impressive skill set. Recent footage from his camp, recorded just days ago, shows a fighter who has made noticeable improvements. His pad work is crisper, with tighter combinations and better balance after each exchange. Unlike the first fight, where he sometimes retreated after engaging, Roach is now holding the center of the ring, using pivots to maintain position rather than circling out. He's also emphasizing body shots, a shift from his headhunting approach in March, which allowed Davis to reset too easily between rounds. Observers at Gleason's note that Roach is stepping into his punches with more purpose, resetting without drifting, and staying upright in exchanges rather than dipping into counters. These adjustments suggest a fighter who has studied the first fight meticulously and identified areas to exploit. Roach's training regimen is intense but understated. He's sparring 3 days a week, running at least 5, and incorporating resistance drills and anaerobic tests to monitor his recovery between rounds. His father, who serves as his trainer, has kept the camp small and focused, avoiding media workouts or extensive interviews. This low-key approach contrasts with the typical hype surrounding a high-profile rematch, but it aligns with Roach's mindset. He's not chasing a knockout or making bold predictions. Instead, he's prioritizing volume, control, and technical precision. In a recent interview, Roach acknowledged the need to do more to secure a decisive victory. "I have to push harder, train harder, be more mean, more physical," he said. "I have to do everything just a little more to get over the hump." His words reflect a fighter who believes he's close to a breakthrough but understands the fine margins that separate a draw from a win. On the other side, Davis's camp has undergone a noticeable shift in tone and strategy. Known for his laid-back approach and open workouts in past camps, Davis has tightened access to his training sessions. Where he once shared sparring footage, pad work clips, and strength training updates on social media, his accounts have gone silent. Gym sessions that were occasionally open to observers are now fully closed, with no new media footage emerging. This change coincided with the release of Roach's training video, which seems to have struck a nerve. According to sources close to his camp, including strength coach Lorenzo "Truck" Simpson, Davis is preparing with a level of urgency not seen in recent years. He's brought in 2 new sparring partners, both smaller, quick-handed pressure fighters with builds and styles similar to Roach's. One, Baltimore-based featherweight Dorian Bostic, is known for his high output and tight inside work. The other, a lesser-known 130-pounder from New Jersey, mirrors Roach's high-activity, short-range approach. These choices indicate that Davis is bracing for a sustained, high-pressure fight rather than banking on an early knockout. Davis's physical preparation has also evolved. His camp has shifted to early morning road work, moving from mid-morning runs to pre-sunrise sessions to build endurance. Simpson has emphasized glute, hamstring, and calf exercises to enhance lateral movement and reduce late-fight fatigue. Sparring sessions now simulate longer fight stretches with shorter rest periods, suggesting Davis expects a grueling 12-round battle. This is a departure from his usual reliance on explosive power and early finishes. The changes point to a camp that recognizes Roach's improvements and is adapting to counter them. However, there's an undercurrent of tension in Davis's preparation. People around the gym describe him as quieter and more focused than usual, a contrast to his typically brash demeanor. This shift could signal a renewed commitment, but it also hints at the pressure he faces after the draw. The narrative around Davis has shifted significantly since the first fight. Once viewed as an untouchable force, he's now being scrutinized for signs of decline or distraction. His comments before the first fight about retirement and giving Roach too much respect raised eyebrows, with some, like WBC light heavyweight champion David Benavidez, suggesting he lacked focus. "That wasn't the same Gervonta Davis we're used to seeing," Benavidez said on the Pound for Pound podcast. "He was gassing up Lamont Roach way too much and talking about retiring. That's not the mindset of a prime fighter." Clarissa Shields echoed this sentiment, telling Fight Hub TV that Davis's frustrations outside the ring might be affecting his performance. "Sometimes anger helps you in a fight, but you have to know how to use it," she said. "He's so frustrated with other parts of his life that it's hard for him to use it all in the ring." Even Joe Rogan, typically focused on MMA, weighed in on his podcast, noting that the draw was legitimate and that Roach could have won. "There's a point where the greats stop being what they were," Rogan said, a comment that resonates in the context of Davis's recent performance. The issue of Pacquiao's legs is a recurring theme in the criticism. Analysts agree that while his punching power and resistance may remain intact, his mobility, reliant on leg strength, will likely betray him. At 46, the natural decline in speed and endurance is inevitable, and Barrios, a volume puncher with a significant size advantage, is expected to capitalize on this. Barrios has approached the fight with respect for Pacquiao's legacy but confidence in his own abilities. He views the bout as a career-defining opportunity to defeat a legend, emphasizing his game plan to use his youth, reach, and stamina to outwork Pacquiao. For Barrios, this is not just a paycheck but a chance to cement his place in the sport. The broader context of Pacquiao's return highlights a troubling trend in boxing: aging stars staging comebacks for financial or promotional reasons. Floyd Mayweather's series of exhibition fights and Mike Tyson's bout against Jake Paul are often cited as parallels, with critics arguing that these events prioritize spectacle over competition. Fans and analysts worry that such fights dilute the significance of championship titles and overshadow younger contenders who are actively building their careers. The welterweight division, in particular, is seen as being held back by this matchup, with names like Jaron Ennis, Brian Norman Jr., and Conor Benn viewed as more deserving of title opportunities. Pacquiao's openness to an exhibition rematch with Mayweather adds another layer to the discussion. While he has framed it as a non-competitive event with a decision, the suggestion underscores his willingness to engage in high-profile bouts that lean on his name recognition. This has fueled speculation that his return is less about chasing competitive glory and more about maintaining relevance in the sport. Critics argue that if Pacquiao wants to fight, he should stick to exhibitions rather than legitimate title bouts that carry significant health risks and implications for the sport's credibility. The health risks are perhaps the most pressing concern. Boxing is an inherently dangerous sport, and the potential for serious injury, particularly brain trauma, looms large for a 46-year-old fighter returning after years away. Pacquiao's history of being knocked out, most notably by Marquez, serves as a stark reminder of his vulnerability. The fear is that a poorly timed comeback could result in lasting damage, tarnishing his legacy and affecting his quality of life. Bob Arum, Pacquiao's longtime promoter, has expressed concern about the fight, despite not being involved in its promotion. Arum's worries center on Pacquiao's physical condition and the toll that age and inactivity may take in the ring. Fans are divided on the matchup. Some are thrilled at the prospect of seeing a beloved icon back in action, eager to witness another chapter in Pacquiao's remarkable career. Others, however, fear that the risks outweigh the rewards, both for Pacquiao and the sport. The criticism is not rooted in a lack of respect for Pacquiao's achievements, but in a desire to protect his health and legacy. The idea of him facing a younger, active fighter like Barrios, or potentially even more dangerous opponents like Ennis in the future, is seen as a recipe for disaster. Ultimately, the Pacquiao-Barrios fight encapsulates the tension between boxing's commercial appeal and its competitive integrity. Pacquiao's return is a testament to his enduring passion for the sport, but it also raises uncomfortable questions about the motivations behind such comebacks and their impact on the sport's future. While the WBC and promoters see a chance to capitalize on Pacquiao's star power, many in the boxing community view it as a step backward for a sport that thrives on the hunger and ambition of its younger stars. Whether Pacquiao can defy the odds and add another improbable victory to his resume remains to be seen, but the risks, both physical and reputational, are undeniable. As the fight approaches, the boxing world watches with a mix of anticipation and apprehension, hoping that a legend can walk away unscathed.